It was just pure gold. You do a great job. Of course, to Jesse and Christine for helping put this together. I haven't even started a joke yet, and everyone's laughing. Let's go with it. Of course, my parents, Rob and Diane Hoolihan. For those of you that don't know, my mother's a bit of a saint. How at 18 years old in 1977 she let her guard down to some hippie, I'll never know. But it led to the hot mess that you see here in front of you now, and it led to actually 4 more beautiful children, one of which is why we're here, so it worked out. For the record, that hippie turned out to be a pretty damn good father, so I just want to point that out. And of course, to Ronnie and Jim Mumma, you guys are great. When I'm around you guys, I feel like I'm just part of the family, and you know, just being involved with it, and everyone, just the parents, Tim, Jesse, Christine, everyone did a great job. Let's give everyone a round of applause for the great job that they did. Christine, you look great. It's kind of redundant saying that because you always look great. So it's like kind of a broken record. I said to Jesse last night, because Christine looked like $1 million. I go, she gonna look this good tomorrow night, like at the wedding? People were asking me coming into this if I was gonna be nervous, and public speaking doesn't bother me too much, but the nerves I think come in because of the respect that I have for Jesse and wanting to do this. I don't want to let him down. So are there nerves there? A little bit. Because despite being my little brother, I look up to him, and in a lot of ways, especially on the Mumma side, for most of us on this side know, Jesse's really the big brother. I'm the blatantly immature one who just can't grow up and deal with reality. And if there's any indication of that, he's getting married and has a baby, and so. I lost my spot here with it just for a second. This is the 4th, and let's hope the final, wedding for the Mumma children. Christine, on that note, you've been a part of our family. You've always felt like family, but tonight we finally get to officially welcome you to our family, and it's great. I love you to death, and I speak for all of us here. We love you. It feels natural that this is finally taking place. On our end, this is the first wedding for the Hoolihans. Jesse, despite my parents not actually saying it, is the favorite son. Yes. Up until now, it's not been confirmed, but thank you, Rob, for giving us the confirmation.
I have a granddaughter.
Yeah. I'm getting to that part of the speech. Don't skip ahead. You know, as if it was unspoken enough, Jesse being the favorite. Yeah. Hey, we're pregnant, having a baby. My mother naturally was ecstatic and elated. Then Kennedy comes, and of course, now we have the wedding. So I just want to thank you, Jesse, for cementing your place as the favorite amongst all of us here. I remember when my mother was expecting the 3rd of us, and I naturally wanted a sister. I had a brother, and just numbers-wise, I would have liked, I had a brother, and it would have been nice to have had a sister. Now, not to throw Joe under the bus too much, but if it was Joe is any indication whatsoever as far as having another brother would have been like. For example, the day my mother brought him home, she lays him on the floor to change him, and he's literally peeing in her face, and continued to torment all of us for the next couple of years. But Joe, to his credit, turned out great, so it worked out. But now, when we had Jesse being the youngest at that time, always wanted to be involved with what Joe and I did. It was, no matter what we were doing, going to a movie, playing sports, Jesse just always had to be involved. And when we didn't include him, he would have to force his way in to the point where he would just instigate us to no end, and we would kind of push him away, even rough him up to where Jesse's one lone defense was screaming out, "Mommy, Mommy, Daddy!" And they would, of course, come and bail us out, or bail Jesse out, rather. And this really didn't last long, though, with Jess, because we started to see the toughness that Jesse had in him. And I remember just early on going to a middle school football game, watching him play football, and he had something there. And it was, being a good football player and being a good athlete, it takes a certain type of physical and mental toughness that Jesse possessed. And this carried on to both, in high school, both in football and basketball. With football, he was a leader on and off the field. In basketball, he played the role of instigator. He would come in and take on the best ball handler on the team, get in his head, and just wear him down. Now, Jesse, this didn't come at a small price. Jesse holds the SAC conference record for most technical fouls at 113. A record that he should be proud of and stands to this day. Now, after high school, Jesse got into coaching football, which seemed like a natural transition for him, given his knowledge of the game and his leadership skills. And he was able to pass his values and morals on to the kids that he was coaching. It was much more than the game with Jesse, but not to mention that with Jesse, he doesn't know how to do anything half-assed. Jesse is 110% in everything that he does. He was going to clinics, to camps, he was talking to other coaches, going out of his way to get revolutionary ideas, running unheard of DVDs with crazy defenses that he could use. After Friday night games, Jesse was getting the game film from the next week's opposing team's coaches to start game planning and scheming what he was doing the next week, because that's just his style. That's how he is. You know, he doesn't have a switch that says it's all or nothing with Jesse. That's basically how it boils down to. And for some people, especially early on in his coaching career, I think this may have come as a surprise given his age, but for those of us that knew him best, it wasn't a surprise, because that's just how Jesse's wired. Now, as time wore on, the circumstances beyond his control, the coaching thing didn't work out, and our good longtime friend Larry Gaspardi gave Jesse a full-time job at our firm. Jesse, to his credit, had been working in and out of the firm for years, part-time over the summers on top of other jobs. Again, because that's Jesse's thing, that's his style, he's a worker. But a couple years later, I joined the law firm because Jesse had stuck his neck out for me. He told Larry, he says, "Jay's going to be an asset to this firm." My first day there, Jesse is being a leader. People are coming up to him with questions, concerns. He's going around answering everybody's questions. Hey, we'll talk about that later. At any given day, if you walk into our firm, the most commonly asked question is, where is Jesse? Because Jesse's the problem solver. Jesse's the guy with the answer. And if he doesn't have an answer, he's going to get one for you. Whether it's a complex case, a crazy client, a broken light bulb, or Jesse's personal favorite, the occasional overflowing toilet. Where's Jesse? Jesse's had always a natural ability to be a leader, to put other people first, to think about others. It's these qualities that are going to make him a great father for Kennedy, he already is, and a wonderful husband for Christine. There's two popular sayings about failure. Now, bear with me. One is failure is not an option. The other is don't be afraid to fail. Jesse falls somewhere in the middle of this. Even if he might stumble, even if you might think that he fails, it works out. He succeeds. Case in point. Jesse and Christine, years ago, had dated once before. The timing wasn't right. But as time does, it goes on. It heals all wounds. And as fate would have it, they got back together. And this time, for good. When Jesse and Christine got back together this time, I saw a happiness in Jesse that Jesse's like me where he can be a little hard-headed and stubborn, but he's generally a really happy guy. And when they got back together, I just saw this happiness in Jesse that wasn't there before. A smile that he had that was more glowing, and it was because of his beautiful bride, Christine, and these two getting back together. And Christine, Jesse's my little big brother that I look up to, and as much as I look up to him, you make him even better than what he is. I love you to death. I'm so thrilled to have you as part of this family. Jesse, you make me more proud than you can ever know or ever even imagine that I can ever put in words. Everybody, let's please raise our glasses to Jesse and Christine, to a lifetime of just pure happiness with the two of you. I love you guys both to death. To Jesse and Christine, everybody, thank you.
Let's hear it for the best man, everybody. Very nice.